Hello and welcome. Today's video will explain Gurdjieff's concept of the law of three, which is a key concept that will help you understand the hidden structure of reality. It is also, as will be briefly touched upon, something that Gurdjieff was not the only one to notice. In Beelzebub's tales to his grandson, the concept known as the law of three plays a crucial role in explaining the nature of existence and the functioning of the universe. This principle suggests that every phenomenon, event, or manifestation arises from the interaction of three distinct forces. These forces, referred to as active, passive, and neutralizing, are always present and must interact for any event to occur. The law of three posits that no phenomenon can exist without these three forces working together. The first force, also known as the active force, initiates action or movement. It can be likened to an initiating energy that starts a process. The second force, the passive force, opposes or resists the active force. This resistance is essential as it provides the necessary balance and counteraction to the initiating force. The third force, often the most difficult to identify, is the neutralizing force. It reconciles and harmonizes the first two forces, making the resulting action possible. The neutralizing force is not easily observed as it operates in the background, subtly enabling the synthesis of the other two forces. This concept can also be seen in the philosopher Hegel's concept of thesis, antithesis, synthesis, which will be explored in a future video. Gurdjieff emphasizes that these forces do not act in isolation. Instead, they are always interconnected, and their interplay is crucial for the creation of any reality. The active and passive forces can be seen in everyday dualities such as light and darkness, action and reaction, or male and female. However, the presence of the neutralizing force is less apparent because it operates beyond the scope of ordinary perception, often hidden in the results or outcomes of events. Ouspensky describes the active force as the initiating energy or impulse. It is the driving force that sets events into motion. The passive force, in contrast, acts as a resistance or opposition to the active force. This resistance is not inherently negative. Rather, it provides the necessary balance that prevents the active force from being unchecked. The neutralizing force, the third component, harmonizes the first two, allowing for the synthesis that results in the occurrence of phenomena. In his teachings, Gurdjieff highlights that the lack of awareness of the third force is a significant limitation of human perception. People typically recognize dualities and opposing forces, but often overlook the reconciliatory element that allows these forces to interact productively. This oversight can lead to a skewed understanding of events and phenomena, as the neutralizing force plays a critical role in making the combination of the first two forces meaningful and effective. The interaction of these three forces can be observed in various aspects of life and nature. In physical terms, the concept is akin to the interaction between positive and negative charges, with the neutralizing force acting as a mediator. In the realm of human psychology, the active force could be a person's will or desire, the passive force the internal resistance due to habits or fears, and the neutralizing force the awareness or new understanding that reconciles the two, allowing for a change in behavior. Gurdjieff's law of three extends beyond simple physical or material interactions. It applies to psychological and spiritual realms as well. For example, in personal development, one's desire for change can be seen as the active force. The inertia of old habits and resistances forms the passive force. The third force, which could be new knowledge or insights, helps to reconcile the desire for change with the existing inertia, leading to personal growth. This application underscores the universality of the law of three, as it operates at all levels of existence, from the most mundane to the most profound aspects of life. The concept also finds parallels in various philosophical and spiritual traditions. In Christian theology, for instance, the Holy Trinity of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit mirrors the structure of the law of three. In Hinduism, the Trimurti of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva similarly represents creation, preservation, and destruction, corresponding to the active, passive, and neutralizing forces. Such parallels highlight the cross-cultural recognition of a triadic structure in explaining the dynamics of existence. Gurdjieff uses this principle to explain the nature of the universe itself. He describes how the absolute, or the totality of existence, creates the cosmos through the interplay of these three forces. The absolute is a state of perfect unity where all three forces are balanced and unified. As this unity manifests in the physical universe, it differentiates into separate entities and phenomena, with each force becoming distinct, yet still interconnected. This differentiation leads to the diversity and multiplicity observed in the universe, where every event and phenomenon can be traced back to the interaction of these three fundamental forces. The law of three also has practical implications for understanding and navigating life. By recognizing and acknowledging the presence of the third force, one can gain a more comprehensive understanding of situations and events. This awareness can lead to more effective decision-making, as it enables one to see beyond the apparent dualities and appreciate the reconciling elements that make harmonious outcomes possible. In this sense, the law of three is not just a theoretical concept, but a practical tool for achieving balance and harmony in various aspects of life. A concrete example of the law of three in human interactions can be observed in a conflict resolution scenario. Imagine a situation where two colleagues, let's call them Alex and Taylor, have a disagreement at work. Alex wants to implement a new project approach, while Taylor is resistant, preferring the traditional methods. Here, Alex's initiative represents the active force, pushing for change and innovation. Taylor's resistance embodies the passive force, which opposes the change due to concerns about potential risks and disruptions. The neutralizing force in this scenario comes into play through the intervention of a mediator, such as their manager or a neutral third party. This mediator listens to both sides, acknowledges the validity of each perspective, and works to find a common ground. The mediator might propose a compromise, such as a trial period for the new approach, allowing the team to evaluate its effectiveness without fully committing. This compromise helps harmonize the differing views and reconciles the active and passive forces, making it possible for the team to move forward with a solution that incorporates both innovation and caution. Furthermore, the law of three suggests that creativity and innovation often result from the successful integration of opposing forces through a neutralizing element. In artistic endeavors, for instance, the tension between tradition and innovation can be harmonized by a creative force that blends these elements into a cohesive expression. Similarly, in problem solving, the opposition between different viewpoints can be reconciled through a unifying solution that addresses the concerns of all parties involved. This process reflects the dynamic and creative potential inherent in the interplay of the three forces. In conclusion, Gurdjieff's law of three offers a profound insight into the structure and functioning of the universe. It reveals the necessity of three interacting forces for the existence of any phenomenon and emphasizes the often overlooked role of the neutralizing force in harmonizing and reconciling opposites. This principle is not only a cornerstone of Gurdjieff's teachings, but also a universal concept recognized across various cultures and traditions. By understanding and applying the law of three, one can gain a deeper appreciation of the complexities of life and the interconnectedness of all things, leading to a more balanced and harmonious existence.